And we are live here in Long Beach, New York, gearing up for Nassau County Boys Lacrosse as the Seaford Vikings visit the Long Beach Marines, with both teams in critical positions as they enter the postseason. Alongside Mike Nelson, I'm Lance Meadow here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So glad you could join us and spend your Thursday evening with us, as this is senior day for Long Beach. So it'll be an emotional game for that group of players as they want to send them off on a high note. Right before the game, all the seniors were honored with their families present, receiving a nice reception from the home crowd on hand here to see them towards the tail end of the regular season. And this is some group that has spent many seasons together. They are 5-7 overall entering this contest. They have dropped 2 in a row, but here is an opportunity for them to bounce back, regroup, and try to finish off the regular season on a strong note. And Mike, that brings me to the big storyline. It's senior day. It's going to be emotional. How do you walk that fine line between that and trying to get a W?
Well, I think for Long Beach, or any team, any senior day is a really emotional day. Like you said, you want to put on a good showing in front of your home fans and your family and your friends. But the added pressure here to have a good game against Seaford, who are basically kind of even with them. They want to come out on top.
And the Vikings have won 2 in a row. Big wins against Plain Edge and North Shore coming into this contest. And they are involved in this power conference in Nassau County. And so far, they have proven to at least keep their head above water with this challenging schedule.
Right, they're one game above 500. They have a good roster. They have a mixture of older players and younger players, so they've been able to kind of gel together. And for a team of that kind of mixture to be one game above 500 in that conference, that's pretty good.
So let's take you through the impact players for today's game. We're going to start with the visitors. Brian Falk, he leads the team with 27 goals. And then Paul DeBlasi, the senior long stickman, who does a little bit of everything. These 2 players are going to be critical on each side of the ball.
Yeah, DeBlasi does everything. He's all over the place. He's headed to Marist. He's the kind of guy that makes the team go and give them a little momentum.
Let's switch gears and go over to Long Beach. This is a very balanced offensive attack. 6 players have scored at least 10 goals on the season. But when you talk about their attack, Charlie Conway certainly heads the list with 30 goals. He's the starting quarterback of the football team. And then Kean Donahue is right behind him with 19 goals and 16 assists. Yeah,
Kean Donahue, even though he's a junior, he's a veteran. He's been around since the 8th grade. I'm happy to see that have Conway and Donahue kind of, gelling and getting it done this year.
Let's take you through the starting lineup for the visitors, as the Vikings, we mentioned 6-5 on the season. Falk in the midfield, being joined by Rosen and Barone. We talked about DeBlasi off the top, and then when you look at their defensive alignment, Calvaca, Branch, and then Brian's younger brother, Brady. And then in goal is Quinn Schweizer, senior goalkeeper, who has a 51 save percentage on the season. You see 92 saves, 87 goals allowed. He is starting to play his best lacrosse. He's allowed single-digit goals in 4 of the last 5 games, Mike.
Right. He's not a guy that has a lot of experience. So, at the end of his this season right now, he's just starting to show, everything that he picked up from this year.
And the head coach of Seaford is Brian Horner. In his 10th season, he's been the head man since 2016. Prior to that, served as an assistant from 2007 to 2015. Let's look at the Long Beach starting lineup. And we highlighted Conway off the top. You see, he's going to be joined by Dylan Brown, who has really had a coming out party this season. Then in the midfield, Brody Rydell, who is their star running back on the football team. Ryan Farrell having a great season as well. Timothy Miller is their LSM. And then on defense, Wardana, Muskin, the offensive lineman on the football team, and Brenke. And then when it comes to goal, it's Aiden DeRupa. All-county last season, save percentage identical to Schweizer at 51, with 94 saves and 90 goals allowed, Mike.
Yeah, Aiden DeRupo is committed to Adelphi. He's another guy that's been around for a long time. I think he's in his 4th year now as a starter. And, he's got a young team in front of him. So they benefit definitely from his senior leadership.
He has been in the starting lineup since his freshman year, as Mike just alluded to. Jason Pearl, the head man for Long Beach. Prior to that, served as an assistant since 2006. He played at Oceanside and then Hofstra, where he was a defender, and now he is trying to send these seniors off on a high note in their backyard here in Long Beach, New York. It is senior day, an emotional day. We will step aside. We've got the opening face-off and the keys to the game coming up right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves.
Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
If you're looking to optimize your sporting event, look no further than Varsity Media's coverage. Since working with them over the course of the past 4 years through the Elite 5 New York City Football Showcase, their coverage has helped take us to the top.
Varsity Media does an unbelievable job in terms of the broadcast, backgrounds on kids, do a great job in exposure from top to bottom. I couldn't really say anything negative. It's been a great couple of years that we've been working together, and it's just fantastic.
Well, I'll tell you, the fact that you guys are here has helped grow it, really. I mean, Varsity Media has been a good partner with us now for the last couple of years. That brings this game to a much broader audience.
The level of detail and that you go to, I mean, obviously the announcers, the camera angles, the slow motions, I mean, you feel like it's being covered by, ESPN.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Lionsman Mike Nelson back here with you in Long Beach, New York, as we get closer to the opening face-off between Seaford and Long Beach. We spoke with both coaches leading up to this contest, so let's take you through the keys to the game. And Mike, I'll let you run through what Seaford and Long Beach are both emphasizing and focusing on.
Visiting team Seaford Vikings, first of all, they want to get off to a good start. That's really important as a road team. They want to match the physicality of Long Beach and win the ground ball battle, which is very important. And I think the coaches want to see better shot selection out of their offense. For Long Beach, of course, good stick handling. They're still a young team. They want to secure ground ball, so look for ground ball battle. Will be crucial today. Execute to scout. I think maybe they've gotten away from that a little bit, especially on defense, and key on Seaford's offensive guys.
As Long Beach with a balanced attack this season, they love to spread the wealth and share the ball, and that has been a huge storyline this season. Jason Pearl, despite the fact that they have dropped their last two games, says the team still has a great attitude. They knew the schedule was going to be tough being in the Power Conference. They started 4-2, since then 1-5, but Mike, they lost to Massapequa, Manhasset, Farmingdale, Bethpage, Roslyn. I mean, that is a gauntlet of teams.
So looking at their roster, they're loaded with juniors. All that experience that they're getting this year is definitely going to serve them well for next year.
And then on Seaford's side, 6-5 on the season. 10-7 victory over Plain Edge on April 23rd. That was on the road. Then they were home last Saturday. They edged North Shore 8-7. 3 games decided by 1 goal this season. They are 1-2 in those contests, but they have been in the thick of things in just about every single game this year.
Yeah, their record wouldn't reflect it, but they've been very competitive.
And this is a Vikings team that is coming in with a lot of momentum because head coach Brian Horner mentioned the wins over Plain Edge and North Shore were significant, given those teams they're going to be competing with come playoff time. As we now get set here for the opening face-off, Tyler Parker for Long Beach, Anthony Foglia for Seaford. As Parker is a senior, Foglia a junior, who also has 10 goals on the season, so he'll stay on the field and look to do damage after he tries to win in the center circle. And the battle for the first possession of the game is underway, and Foglia makes it look easy. So Seaford, right out of the gates, tried to set up an opportunity, and the ball looked like it just came out of the stick of Connor Bremen, the junior attacker.
Yeah, LSM, Charlie Muskin must have got back and just got a small piece of a stick to redirect the shot.
Because he looked like he was in point-blank range
Yeah.
for an opportunity on goal, but it got away from him. Long Beach, their defense answering the call, and now the home team with their first possession. Ryan Farrell, junior midfielder. He's had 2 goals in 2 of the last 3 games, including last Saturday against Roslyn. Off the dodge here, tightly defended. Here's Brody Rydell, who's done plenty of damage on this field as a football player. He had a goal and an assist against Roslyn, and how about that feed leading to a goal for Dylan Brown, who Jason Pearl has called the X Factor this season, his 11th goal of the year.
Okay, so here we see Kean Donahue, the lefty, nice look inside to Brown. I guess Seaford kind of ball watching on that one. Good look inside, quick stick, great shot.
Dylan Brown, 1 goal and 3 assists against Roslyn last Saturday, and picking up where he left off. He had no goals, Mike, last season. He did have 9 assists, so they really didn't know what they were going to get out of him in his sophomore campaign, and boy, has he exceeded expectations and then some.
Yeah, and he fit in with the two more experienced guys, very well. What a great attack unit that is.
Parker off the win on the face-off, bounces one towards the net, but it goes wide.
I think what Seaford has to be aware of is when Donahue has the ball, that they can't sit and just watch him. Because if they slide early, if they leave the man open, Donahue's going to find them.
And Donahue is an excellent facilitator. His team-leading 17th dime set up Brown. Long Beach here, in and out of traffic, and that shot pulls through for a goal. Ryan Farrell with his 14th of the season, an absolute rocket towards the net.
Again, Donahue with the ball, and Farrell finding a spot and getting open, and Donahue with the nice feed right on his stick, and great shot.
So Donahue with 2 assists, as he has facilitated each of the 2 goals for Long Beach, and this is a fantastic start for the Marines.
I think as teammates of a guy like Donahue, all they have to do is focus on getting open, and they trust that Donahue will find them.
And that is what Jason Pearl discussed that has stood out about his team. They don't lean on one guy in particular. Anyone can go off, and they ride the hot hand, and that's exactly what we're seeing today.
Having seen Donahue previously, he was more focused, I believe, on going to the cage and scoring. this year, he's happy to spread the wealth and look for open teammates, and it makes him a more balanced offense.
Barone, the senior captain, giving it up as they work it around the perimeter. The Vikings trying to get on the board for the first time, and a takeaway for Long Beach. Timothy Miller, the senior LSM.
The Miller family is a very familiar name here in Long Beach. They just come down the pipeline, and Timothy Miller headed to Hamilton. That was a great check.
Also the starting right guard on the football team. Serves as a team captain in that sport. All conference a year ago.
And might I add, they're all great kids too. Very good young men.
And a lot of athleticism in that family.
Absolutely.
So Long Beach with an opportunity to further pad its lead. 45 on the shot clock. Rydell loves contact as he barrels his way through traffic, but that pass off the mark towards the X position as he was trying to get it to Dylan Brown.
Matt Allen provided some pressure on right on the gloves and forced that turnover.
This is a Seaford offense that has put up 104 goals on the season. They average just over 9 a game as we approach the 9-minute mark in quarter number 1.
Seaford trying to get them their offense organized and get their substitutions on the field.
As Barone takes over, the senior captain, whose father actually played lacrosse at Adelphi and won a national title, as we talk about the family gene pool.
Yeah, Barone synonymous with Seaford, just like the Millers are in Long Beach.
20 on the shot clock here for the Vikings. Off the dodge, will they get a shot opportunity here? As Barone drops it and looks to reset. 11 on the shot clock. The extra pass and that bouncer off the stick of DeFondi, wide right. And it will stay scoreless for Seaford, but they'll keep it here with 7 on the shot clock.
Yeah, short time here.
And that bouncer partially deflected by DeRupa. And Long Beach's defense, Mike, has done a really nice job thus far.
They have. Seaford's really kind of an open set and not really sending anybody to the cage. So far, they've been content to shoot from the outside. I think they're going to have to work the ball inside a little bit if possible.
Yeah, you could argue their best opportunity came with Bremen on the opening possession when he lost control of the ball.
Correct. DeRupa with the clear.
So here come the Marines in attack mode. Rydell. He has scored a goal in all 7 of his appearances this season. He's been Mr. Consistent.
They do have a nice balance in offense. I think Seaford's going to have to pay a little attention to guys off the ball, too, because, if they're not paying attention, if they're ball watching, guys are going to get open on Long Beach, and they're going to have a long day.
Jonathan Hayes fires one with 18 on the shot clock. Donahue with 2 assists. He is one of those players that Mike was just talking about that you got to keep close tabs on because he's going to look to dish. And that shot is stopped by Schweizer to keep it a 2-goal game.
Nice stop by Schweizer. Donahue is definitely the quarterback. The offense runs through him, but he makes sure that everybody gets involved.
As Dylan Brown was looking for his 2nd goal of the game. Seaford with Foglia surveying the field here as we hit the 6.5-minute mark in quarter number 1.
Seaford kind of got that open set going again and cut guys away from the ball. Nice stop by DeRupa.
As that was right in the front of the goal, and DeRupa anticipated that beautifully as Bremen got the feet in the slot. So quickly back the other way comes Long Beach. It's a ground ball. It's still loose, and Seaford is going to come down with it. And I spoke too soon because the game of cat and mouse continues here with now Brown in possession for Long Beach.
The nice ground ball by Dylan Brown. Again, you know, the ground ball battle so far for both teams, it's been pretty even. The ball hasn't been on the floor too much. But, you know, whoever, again, not to beat a dead horse here, whoever wins the ground ball game is going to come out.
Well, right now, Long Beach's offense has not missed a beat. Rydell feeding it to Wojcicki for his 7th goal of the season, and it's a 3-0 advantage for Long Beach.
To initiate from the midfield, again, another guy wide open in the front. And Seaford doing a little bit of ball watching, you know, from behind. Second slide, not quite there in time. And wide open man on the crease.
So Rydell joins Donaghy as a facilitator. Wyatt Wojcicki, the junior midfielder. He now has at least 1 goal in each of his last 4 appearances.
Another one of those juniors.
A pair of juniors actually hooking up on that as they're trying to steal the spotlight from the seniors on senior day.
Well, they want to send them out on a high note, right?
And they are in good position here with a comfortable 3-0 lead. Seaford, last few possessions, has had some opportunities, but DeRupa and company keeping that brick wall up. As that pass gets away, and Long Beach is going to have an opportunity with a takeaway by Hudson Brenke. So they'll slow things down with well over a minute on the shot clock. Jonathan Hayes, the sophomore midfielder, honorable mention All-County last season. Jason Pearl has been very pleased with his decision-making this season as he makes the jump from first year to second year.
Yep. Already as a sophomore, he's a seasoned veteran.
Brown from that X position. Donaghy continually looking for teammates, 20 on the shot clock. And this is going to go back to Seaford.
Donnie's very, very unselfish player. From what I've seen him in the past, you know, his ability to share and willingness to share the ball and get everybody involved has improved.
And that jump shot is blocked by DeRupa, and then he vacuums it up in his stick.
Nice shot, nice save by DeRupa. He had the midi bearing down on him and beat it to the carpet.
DeRupa continuing to pitch a shutout. Seaford with opportunity after opportunity, but they have been silenced, and a takeaway for the Vikings by Brian Falk, who is their top scorer on the season. An extra pass is bobbled by Herson, the sophomore attacker, but he regroups as they had a 2-on-1 opportunity there.
I think the Seaford really wants to get Falk involved a little more. He looks a little gassed right now. He hasn't been able to come on off the field. He plays offense and defense on both sides. So hopefully they can get him a little rest and get Falk a little more involved. It looks like they're shadowing him away from the ball a little bit with Hudson Brenke. I'm sorry, wrong team. With Jimmy Herson from Seaford.
Barone with the crossfield pass, and the shot by Bremen bounces wide. As he has been very active in this game. He had 3 assists in the win over North Shore last Saturday, but looking to be a scorer today.
Yeah, they're keeping a very close eye on Falk, away from the ball, not allowing him to get any touches.
And now you see Bremen feeling the pressure from Brenke. Off the dodge, a one-on-one opportunity, and a slam dunk for Logan DeFondi with his 19th goal of the season to finally put Seaford on the board with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
All right, here we go. initiate by DeFonzi. Nice face dodge, fake low, shot high, right in the corner for DeFonzi.
As DeFonzi now has at least one goal in each of the last 4 games. And you see he put it high right over the stick of DeRupa.
It's kind of a nice old school face dodge by DeFonzi.
Tyler Parker with the win, but he gets doubled from behind and lost his stick. And Seaford now putting on the defensive clamps, and maybe a chance for them to build some momentum here in the final minute.
I think that's got to happen a little bit. Again, like I said, if they get Mr. Falk involved, he's a guy that can turn the tide of the game a little bit, when he gets hot and puts a couple of chances together.
Falk does so much of the heavy lifting for this team. 27 goals, leads the squad. 35 points also tops, and he has 8 assists and is very active scooping up ground balls, to Mike's point, as he plays on both ends.
Yeah. Right now they have the second midfield in for Seaford, try to kind of give Falk a blow a little bit. Beginning of the second quarter, we'll see Falk back out there again.
Long Beach in possession, and shot clock and game clock just about even. So if they choose, they could run this down to the expiration of the quarter. But Seaford may have other plans, as there's a ground ball here and a lot of green in the picture. The Vikings still fighting for position. It's a hot potato. Who wants it more?
Yep.
And nobody yet coming cleanly out of the pile as the ball goes out of play, and it's going to be Long Beach possession. My goodness.
There's the ground ball battle we were looking for. Senior official Mike Terciano whistled the ball, points Long Beach's way. But I think the ground ball battle the rest of the game is going to be crucial.
And both coaches emphasized that when we were discussing the keys to the game.
Yeah.
And a timeout taken here by the Marines to talk things over with 31 seconds to go in the first quarter. And them up 2 goals, 3-1. Here's the last 3 seasons for the Marines. 9-8 a year ago in the Nassau B quarters. 11-7 prior to that, also in the quarters. And then in 2023, 10-8 as they advanced to the B semis. And when Brian Horner was talking about the challenge that Seaford had coming into this game, he described Long Beach and said they're always physical, they're always tough-minded, and this year's team is no different. And they also have the advantage in terms of the size of the school, a bigger pool of players to manufacture a roster.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the roster numbers, that says it right there. Long Beach, in addition to have a large roster, they have larger players. I think they're a little bigger, they're a lot more physical, right? And that'll help them with the ground balls.
Well, there's a football mentality that carries over to the lacrosse team, especially when you've got the starting quarterback, the starting running back, the fullback, the offensive line, you name it.
I don't think the football players had a choice when springtime came.
It's pretty much automatic.
Players now.
Yeah, exactly. So the Marines out of the timeout with the shot clock off, trying to restore their 3-goal lead as they jumped out to a 3-0 lead.
That's the way it used to be for a lot of schools. You were a football player, you were a lacrosse player. Nowadays, kids kind of specialize a little more. But it's good to see Long Beach have that mentality.
And they made it in football to the Nassau County Championship game. They lost to Garden City.
Yes.
Farrell making his move off the dodge from right to left, gets sandwiched in. 5 seconds to go. It's a loose ball. It's still on the ground. And that is going to do it for the first 12 minutes of play, with Long Beach taking a 3-1 lead over Seaford into the second quarter. As Donahue with 2 assists, but let's not overlook the play of Aiden DeRupa. The deflection and then the stop to keep Seaford off the board in a tight affair in Long Beach, New York on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Brennan O'Neill, and you're watching Varsity Media.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Back here in Long Beach, New York, start of the second quarter with Long Beach leading Seaford 3-1. They put up goals from Ryan Farrell, Wyatt Wojcicki, and Dylan Brown, and Donaghy had 2 of the assists. Rydell had the other. It's that balanced attack on full display, Mike, once again.
Right. One thing I noticed toward the end of the first quarter, I think that Seaford had done a little better job of keeping their eye on guys away from the ball. And sort of the Long Beach's first look has not been there. So they're forcing Long Beach to vary their offense a little bit.
Parker and Foglia for the opening face-off of the second quarter. And right off of the wing, Seaford is going to take command here as Foglia jump back into the picture. Vikings didn't get on the board until very late in the first quarter.
All right, let's see Mr. Falk gets a little more involved here. He's able to have the ball in his hands, and he's going to invert here and try from the back of the cage.
He's had multiple goals in 8 of his 10 appearances this season. 5 hat tricks, a 4-goal game, and a 5-goal game. Yet, Long Beach has kept him off the board thus far. Around the perimeter it goes with 15 on the shot clock. Rosen with 10. As Barone now takes over. 5 seconds to work with for the Vikings. The extra pass from the wing, the bouncer, blocked by DeRupa. And again, Long Beach in prime position to keep Seaford quiet. As right from the wing, it was Bremen that took the shot. Now a flag came in right as the shot was released. So we're going to get a penalty here.
Okay. So as the shot's released, let's see what happens on the ground ball here. I couldn't see a call by official Wallace. Anyway, Seaford will be men up here.
As Tyler Parker is in the penalty box. So he's taking a knee, and Seaford now with a golden opportunity to try to capitalize off the penalty. Down low, and DeRupa again gets a stick in the way, but Seaford is going to retain possession here with Defandi.
So Long Beach taking Falk out of the face guarding him and taking him out of the man up. So Seaford is playing right now. They're playing 5-on-4. Able to get a shot off there.
As that was Foglia. It bounced right over the post. And here is Falk jump-starting the offense for the Vikings.
Long Beach goes back to face guarding Falk to take him out of the Long Beach, out of the Seaford man up.
Rosen thinking about it. And that one goes wide again as Seaford continues to put the pressure on DeRupo, and Parker is now out of the box, so the penalty is expired. We're back to even strength.
Right, all even now, 6-on-6.
And a fresh shot clock for the Vikings.
They're just not giving Falk a lot of room unless he takes the ball out from out of bounds. So that looks to be the game plan throughout the game. And ironically, they have a freshman guarding. Number 27 is a freshman guarding Falk.
As that was DeFondi on the shot. DeRupo and company continuing to be in sync on the defensive side. And now Long Beach is going to have possession for the first time here in the second quarter.
Offensively, Seaford just not getting, that many quality shots. Most of the shots have been coming from mid-range or, far out. Hopefully they'll be able to get working inside a little bit more.
Yeah, other than the Bremen shot in the slot towards the latter part of the first quarter, it has been tough sledding for them.
Right.
Outside on the wings is Long Beach trying to do the opposite. A lot of traffic, and how about that stop by Schweizer?
Very good stop. There was a lot of pretty good ball movement by Long Beach and a nice shot from inside. Schweitzer coming up big.
And that came from Farrell, and then back on the other end, it's Seaford that rings the bell and pulls within a goal. So the Vikings get out in transition and take full advantage as right here from the slot, Kofod, the junior midfielder, with his 4th goal of the season.
So sometimes your goalie makes a big save, and that gets things going, and it starts them on a transition and gets the team pumped up. And, Seaford sidelines, much more excited now.
So a 3-0 lead for Long Beach, and now 2 unanswered for the Vikings. And Foglia and Parker battle it out yet again. Parker in possession. And he took a hit up the sideline as he was trying to facilitate it to Conway.
Before the hit, Long Beach coach called timeout.
So Jason Pearl will talk things over with his squad. Let's take a look at some of our upcoming broadcasts. And this Saturday, it's the Woodstick Classic, 7 p.m. Garden City battling Manhasset. And you can check that out on youtube.com/varsity media. As we are here in Long Beach, New York, senior day for the Marines, who are holding on to a 1-goal lead. And now all of a sudden, it seems when Mike Seaford picks up the pace in transition, much higher percentage looks for them.
Yeah, it opens up the field. Long Beach not be able to get back in the defensive set, and I think Seaford much better, picking the ball up and running and trying to spread the field out a little bit.
As the Vikings have had goals in this game from DeFondi and Kofod. As we look at what they've done in their last 3 seasons, 8-9 a year ago, made it to the quarters. Prior to that, in 2024, 13-5. A round further in the semis, and then in 2023, 9-8. Got a Nassau Class C qualifier.
They've been in the mix every year. Seaford's usually, involved some way, and I think they'll find themselves back in the playoff this year, possibly toward the end of the year.
Right now, sitting at 6-5, winning their last 2 games over Plain Edge and North Shore. Ryan Horner, just like Jason Pearl mentioned, it's been one of the toughest schedules they've played within the Power Conference. But he feels each and every game they're doing something better. and that at least has him optimistic moving forward, as they were trying to get it into the X position, Long Beach, with Brown, and not on the same page with Conway. And Seaford now has a chance to tie this game with under 8 minutes to go in the first half.
See if they're able to clear the ball here. Timeout. Seaford.
So the Vikings now will chat as James Branch, the junior defender, brought it across midfield. He was all conference a year ago. With that, we will take a break and step aside. A one-goal game between Long Beach and Seaford right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Back here in the second quarter in Long Beach, New York, with the Marines ahead of Seaford 3-2. Seaford out of the timeout, in possession. They have little by little mounted a comeback with 2 unanswered goals. The last one in transition with Mikey Kofod, who has had all 4 of his goals this season in the last 3 games. Ideal timing for him to get hot. Brian Falk in possession, looking to get his first goal of the game.
Again, on Falk, they had the freshman defender Hudson Branke. That seems to be his job for the day.
As Barone sets up Bremen for the game-tying goal, and Seaford has erased a 3-goal deficit here in the second quarter.
So here we go. Barone initiates and looks inside and finds the wide open attackman.
As that was Bremen's 3rd goal of the season. Right out of that slot position, and better looks have led to more offensive production.
Yeah, and that time, it's not typical of Long Beach, but they definitely were ball watching. They were watching Barone handle the ball, and they let the guy inside.
So we've got a new game here, as now the Marines trying to untie the knot.
So we had a feeling this game was going to be tight, right? Right off the bat. Seaford started off a little slower than Long Beach did. Long Beach came out, on fire, which having to be senior day and emotional. But neither one of these teams are going to go away. They're going to battle it out the whole time.
Vikings head coach Brian Horner says his team is more effective when they play from behind. He doesn't necessarily have the answer, but it showed up yet again today.
That's not a formula you want to follow every week, but if it works out for them, hey, let it go.
Donahue with the pass right in front to Brown, and Schweizer was there. But Brown will reset here out of the X position, and another opportunity, but the pass high intended for Farrell.
Donahue is not afraid to try to thread the ball through a crowd. That time he did have a wide open Brown, but just sailed it over him. Schweitzer with another stop.
And this time, though, can't get in the way of Charlie Conway. On senior day, the senior delivers his team-leading 31st goal.
Seaford moving the ball around, initiated by Donahue. Nice save by Schweitzer inside, but the rebound he couldn't quite control.
And that was one of the first times we saw Donahue actually look for his shot as opposed to setting up a teammate, but he wound up getting the deflection that had the right trajectory into the stick of Conway. And a win here for Parker, but he throws it away. And the ball is still on the ground here. And we had a kick as it was right around in that slot area.
So every ground ball is turning into a scrap, which both coaches are probably happy about. But that time the ball goes to Seaford.
So Long Beach with a 1-goal lead with just under 5:45 to go here in the first half.
Seaford's possessions are getting a little longer too. They're making Long Beach a little tired on defense. Before they were taking the shots right away. They're being a little more deliberate and cutting guys. Nice stop again by DeRupo.
Jump shot by Matt Allen off balance. Can't get through. And the Marines now looking to get out in transition. But that ball is coughed up by Bodie Wardana. And somehow, out of the pack, Max Schimmel had it. And then DeRupo takes over.
Got another one of those scraps. I think they're going to call loose ball push on Seaford on that one. It'll be Long Beach ball.
It has been hard for both teams to contain the ball and the stick in this game. And one of the things that Jason Pearl talked about leading into this game is cleaning that aspect up with respect to handling the ball.
Every time you pick a ball up against Seaford, you're going to have a guy right on your hand. So Long Beach got to be really cognizant of that. There you go.
And the game of hot potato continues as we've got players down, sticks loose, you name it.
Oh, the scraps are great. Every time there's a ground ball, guys are really contesting and going after each other. And that's what you want. Nobody's going to back down today.
Including that man, Charlie Conway, who untied the knot and put Long Beach back in front. This time he feeds, and that is a score for Jonathan Hayes, the sophomore midfielder with his 12th goal of the year, and Long Beach back up by 2.
All right, so if you watch, Jonathan Hayes, the defender, turned his back to the ball. Whenever you're an attack, mini or an offensive player, you see your defender turn your head. You see the back of his helmet. That's the key to go. It's a green light, and he was able to find a seam and catch the ball and shoot it.
Hayes had a very impressive freshman year with 27 goals, and even though his numbers are not necessarily identical to what he did a year ago, he is still having a standout season, and it's the decision-making, which we just got a taste of, that has impressed Pearl the most.
A lot of really impressive younger guys. I mean, I think the future is very bright here.
Is DeRupo trying to clear it here. Timothy Miller, the LSM, getting it across midfield. And the Marines now can milk some clock as we near the 3.5-minute mark. Farrell has 1 goal in this game. Donahue has several dimes, and that shot wide left.
Donahue taking it himself that time. He got a step above his defender. He was able to free his hand, but got it a little high. Schweitz is a big body goalie. He takes up a lot of the cage, so you really got to pick your shots.
Brown was trying to get it to Ojeski. Seaford with the takeaway in transition. They can't get a clean pass to Falk, and then that bounces past DeRupo. So the Vikings catch a break.
It's been getting a little sloppy toward the end of this first half here. I'm sure neither coach is really thrilled with that. But Seaford will capitalize. Let's see if they can get Falk going against the freshman defender.
Well, this ball is bouncing, and there's not many magnets in the area to haul him in. Seaford went on a 3-0 run to tie the game before Long Beach responded with a pair of goals.
Lacrosse typically, like many other sports, is a game of runs. Right now, Long Beach is back on their run after Seaford had their run. Let's see who has the more runs and who has the more important runs at the end of the game.
DeFondi off the dodge, bounces it past the post. 28 on the shot clock for Seaford. Can they get Brian Falk going? 27 goals and 35 points leads the team coming in.
Every time he gets a step on the freshman defender, Long Beach sends an early slide. So he's been kind of frustrated in that aspect.
10 seconds on the shot clock for DeFondi here. He tries to feed it to Falk. 4 seconds to go. Falk gets it back, and that is going to be a shot clock violation. Long Beach putting on the defensive pressure.
They're just not going to give number 22 Falk. They're not going to give him any quarter today. They're not going to give him an inch. He's having a hard time finding space and getting his hands free. Let's see if he can work through that, or it's going to frustrate him. So pretty much that had to be the game plan, for Long Beach.
Well, Jason Pearl, as we go back to the keys of the game that we highlighted off the top, execute the scout, especially on D, Mike.
Yeah, there you go.
And Brian Falk's name was circled on that scouting report.
For sure. I mean, Falk's an elite player in the county, and he's been so for a few years now. So Long Beach definitely did their homework on Falk.
One takeaway after another. As the Vikings tried to get it out in transition, they took a timeout.
Very good timeout call.
And they'll have a chance here with 1:11 to go in the second quarter. And shot clock and game clock just about even. So they can certainly hold for last licks. There is a lot of talent heading to the next level between both of these programs. Here's a look at where some of the Seaford players are heading. As Paul DeBlasi committed to Marist, Jack Rosen to Cortland, and Brian Falk actually has made a change. Initially, it was West Point, but just about a week ago, he's now going to go to Villanova to play football.
Wow. It's nice to have options, I guess, right?
A multifaceted athlete who is receiving a lot of attention today. Long Beach, DeRupo, Adelphi, Timothy Miller, Hamilton, Donahue, Sacred Heart, and then Jax Wagner, one of their backup goalies, P.S. Harrisburg.
Yep, and that list is going to get longer and longer, and I would think in the next few months.
Well, one of the players that we did not see on that list is Charlie Conway, and he may look to attend a power conference school and play club lacrosse. That at least is some of the chatter after he has had a standout career as a football player and as a lacrosse player.
In the landscape of college lacrosse now, club lacrosse is really no joke. I mean, a lot of them get pretty good funding. A lot of them get support from their schools. They play against other big-time club teams. You get to see pretty good facilities. So that's definitely an option for kids now.
And then maybe a pathway, Mike, to actually get on to the varsity squad.
Absolutely.
Too. So options still very much open for him.
Like teams like South Carolina Club Lacrosse, for instance, there's no varsity team there. So their club team is their program, and they're treated just like any other Division I team.
So out of the timeout, here come the Vikings as they look to get on the board for the fourth time. Foglia, their face-off guy, leaving it for Herson. Rosen, one of their senior captains, boxed out. As we approach 30 seconds remaining in the first half, can Seaford solve the riddle? Barone dancing and spinning as that shot blocked by DeRupo off the stick of Rosen, And Long Beach with a massive stop with 10 seconds to go. Dominic Mendoza, the junior, on the clear. Conway, can he get a shot on goal? But an unselfish pass at the final buzzer to Brown is going to keep it a 2-goal game.
Seaford having a tough time, 6-on-6. You know, they've been more lucky, you know, scoring goals unsettled and away from the 6-on-6 situation.
Quite the back and forth affair here in Long Beach, New York. Off the deflection, Charlie Conway, the senior, making his presence felt on a day that is all about the seniors. He and his teammates up by 2 goals, 5-3 over Seaford, as we hit the half on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Now is a great time to book a sportscast with Varsity Media. What sets our sportscast apart isn't just the quality of our production, it's the knowledge, passion, and professionalism that our announcers bring to every game.
And it's Merrill. Oh, look at a fake by Merrill. There's the spin again. Gary Merrill is not human. Touchdown, St. Anthony. Profeta! 1-0, Garden City.
Our commentators research athletes and highlight storylines that matter to your communities. Our approach creates a broadcast experience that not only informs, but elevates the athletes, giving the kind of recognition usually reserved for professional levels. Varsity Media's announcers make sure that every athlete has their moment. So book a Varsity Media Sportscast today, and let's get your team the recognition it deserves. You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for upcoming schedules and content, and on social media at Varsity Media. Hey parents, coaches, and players. Ever wonder what makes Varsity Media stand out as the tri-state leader in sports live streaming and videography?
Well, I've been working with Varsity Media for, 14 years. When we have video needs, whether that be a game, whether that be a practice, whether it be social media, it's nice to know that somebody understands what we're looking for without asking for it.
We started working with Varsity Media back in 2021, and since then they've been an absolute game changer, putting our event on the map. Varsity Media couldn't be a better partner, and if you're looking to optimize your event, I couldn't recommend them anymore.
it's been great for us. You know, the kids really get excited when they know that Varsity Media is going to be here. Not just what's happening on the football field, but all the excitement that's around it. It really boosted the environment here, and everybody gets really excited for what's going on.
Varsity Media is reliable, professional, and their quality work is fantastic. It's like watching ESPN. The announcers are unreal, really do a great job of speaking to the coaches to get the knowledge of the players, the season, what's going on with the team. There is nothing better than Varsity Media doing a live broadcast.
If you'd like to book with Varsity Media, reach out at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Merrill, he's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Help keep Varsity Media's broadcasts free on YouTube by considering an advertising sponsorship. Our coverage of local games helps local businesses get visibility in the community. To learn more about our sponsorship packages and rates, email ben@varsitymedia.net.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Back here in Long Beach, New York, as we get set for the start of the third quarter. 5-3. Long Beach leading Seaford. Lance Meadow, Mike Nelson with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. 3 different players have scored for the Vikings. 5 different ones for the Marines. And Foglia and Parker back to work here. And Parker hustling towards the ground ball, taking control. And it is going to be the home team in possession to start the third.
I think ball time, ball possession, offensive possession time is going to be really crucial here. Look for Seaford to try to make more things happen off the ground and unsettled. That's where they've had their goals. 6-on-6, Seaford's having a rough time, solving Long Beach's defense, and they're doing a good job of taking Falk away. Long Beach is doing a good job of sharing the ball and moving their guys around.
Conway off the dodge. Whips it out to Hayes. Each of them have scored a goal in this game. Donahue with an angle, and he throws it right past Schweizer for his first goal of the day and 20th of the season.
So when Donahue's able to get a step above his defender and get his left hand free, and he's really impossible to stop. Great job getting through, utilizing the pick, freeing his hand down and shooting offside on Schweitzer.
Donahue coming off a hat trick and 2 assists against Roslyn last Saturday. And filling up the stat sheet once again. And his father and head coach Jason Pearl were roommates at Hofstra.
I was just able to say hello to Mr. Donahue just a little while shortly ago. So pick your poison. We can, right? You're going to let him get above you. You're going to let him dodge and give him freedom. He's going to shoot. If you're going to shut him off, and he's going to find the open man.
His decision making has been on point this afternoon.
That was his dad.
So Long Beach restoring a 3-goal lead over Seaford. The Vikings trying to get it down the alley to Barone, but they're unable to pass that through successfully. And here come the Marines with Conway getting it down low to Brown, and Schweizer got his stick at the perfect angle.
Nice stop by Schweizer. Long Beach couldn't quite capitalize on the fast break. Let's see what they do 6-on-6 here. Seaford looks to be in a little bit of a zone. Right here, trying to force everything to the outside.
Hayes was trying to release it, and it got deflected.
Nice outlet pass by Schweizer. I think that's what Seaford has to look for more, fast breaks and unsettled situations.
Dylan Brown broke his stick as he was trying to defend Falk. So Brown has to hustle off the field and get a new stick. As it will be Vikings possession, and there's the broken stick. So Brown, he took himself off the field, but he forgot to take the stick with him.
Okay, so the ball will be back with Seaford here. Hudson Branke is like, he's in Falk's pocket already. Wherever Falk is on defense, that's where they're gonna shove him. I think they have to work a little harder to try to get him on a different matchup, or free him up and set some picks for him, or let him take the ball, off restarts.
Well, Falk is in the X position. He's setting a screen there. And another pass that goes beyond Barone from Defandi.
Over and back call against Seaford.
So a turnover. And now Long Beach back in business. So Dylan Brown is not currently on the field after he broke his stick. And instead, he watches a shot from Farrell bounce wide. as they are literally putting a new stick together on the sideline for Brown. With just over 9 minutes to go.
It's like a pit crew on a sideline for Long Beach trying to get his stick reworked.
They got the tape out, they got the glue out, and they got another goal and a 7-3 advantage. As again, the spreading the wealth mentality has set up teammate after teammate, and you're going to see Ryan Farrell with his second goal of the game right out of that slot position.
Really the movement away from the ball. Whenever a Seaford man who is covering, or that's his side, watches the ball away from him, the Long Beach guys are just cutting to seams, and they're all looking for teammates.
And that goes back to the point that Jason Pearl talked about, the fact that they don't lean on one player in particular. Right. Tyler Parker off the win, and the feed down low results in a ground ball, as that was initially in possession for Long Beach, and Seaford is going to come out of the pile, and they get it to Falk out in the open field. Can he get going? Off the dodge. He's going to take a strike and find the back of the net past DeRupo. Brian Falk, the leading goal scorer on the season with number 28.
Here's where they have to capitalize. This is what they have to take advantage of and make things happen more. Number 3 had a great ground ball behind his own cage from Seaford, pushed it up the field. In transition, they found Falk. He was able to get some freedom and hit a seam and bounce it past DeRupo. Very good off-stick bounce shot.
It was only a matter of time till Falk got going, as Parker continues to hustle in the center circle, and another huge victory for him, but a pass that goes high to Timothy Miller. And the ground ball is going to roll out of play here. It is going to stay with Long Beach.
Burke will pick the ball up here.
The other thing to keep in mind is the game of shadows here in the second half, as you see on screen just about every player that enters because of the sun setting here on Long Island.
And the cloud just kind of parted, and the shadows all of a sudden appeared, and you're right, it's something that they definitely need to adjust to. Kofod does a nice job on ground balls and moving the ball in transition and settling things down.
As that shot just off the mark from Farrell, who was looking for a hat trick. Now, Dylan Brown is on the sideline with a new stick. We have yet to see him return since he broke his stick. Donahue with a goal and a pair of assists, trying to control the ground ball, and it is going to go to Seaford.
So any veteran lacrosse player will tell you, you need to have a backup stick, at least 1 or 2, right? And it didn't look like Brown was ready to go.
Well, he's a sophomore, so give him time, and he'll slowly learn that.
Live and learn.
As he gets to be an upperclassman, but they are very excited what he is bringing to the program. Seaford looking to cut into a 3-goal deficit.
Oh, nice backdoor cut by Falk there.
Foglia off the curl finds his target for goal number 11 on the season, and don't count the Vikings out just yet. They're within 2.
So as Foglia is dodging, right, watch Falk, really nice backdoor cut. The slide, number 32, was looking to slide to Falk because he thought the pass was going to go to Falk, and allowed Foglia to go right unmolested right down the seam.
That gave him a slight opening.
Yeah, hesitation.
To your point, Mike.
Hesitation on a slide guy was paying more attention to Falk and allowed Foglia. And that's what they need to do more, Seaford. Seaford needs to open things up and move around a little bit.
And great work by our production crew to capture the Falk backdoor cut.
100%.
Off the right side.
And that's the first time we've seen Falk kind of, be aggressive on his movements away from the ball and try to get away from the shadow. If he continues this year, it's going to keep happening.
And it's also the perfect example that you don't have to have the ball in your hands to do damage, as that shot goes right off the crossbar.
Long Beach does a good job of moving away from the ball. Seaford got to kind of mimic that a little bit. That time Seaford got the ball in transition. That's where they do damage. They hit the crossbar, but they got an excellent opportunity and a good chance. They need to capitalize on those. But if Seaford plays that way, if they pick the ball up off the ground, create turnovers, move the ball, move without the ball, they're going to jump back in this game.
And Falk scored his lone goal in transition already.
Yeah, and he just hit the post, so, that's going to be his bread and butter right there.
There's Timothy Miller, the senior LSM, jump-starting the offense for the Marines.
Some guys, offensively, some of your better players, whenever the other team decides to face guard you, lock you off, it could go one or two ways. You could, just get frustrated and kind of take yourself out of the play, or you could make things happen. You could work off a screen or go into the crease or pick up the ground ball yourself.
Dylan Brown is back in the game. He is in the X position behind the net. As Wojcicki leads the charge and gets it to Brown. A new stick in his grasp.
Did you see that pass? With his new stick, he kind of babied it a little bit. He wasn't sure. It's always a new adventure grabbing a new stick.
Still got to get a feel for it, break it in like a glove in baseball.
Yeah. Well, like the kids say, it's not the wand, it's the wizard, right? So let's see if Brown can make something happen with his new stick.
One W or the other. Brown with the pass, and just off point was Conway, and then Schweizer puts his cup down on the ball to prevent a rebound.
That's good positioning. Any goalie coach will tell you that's a way to be in the right spot. Falk carries the ball over to 50, and there goes number 27 again, right? That's his job.
Schweizer gave up 15 goals against MacArthur earlier in the season. Since then, though, he has bounced back as Brian Horner has leaned on him heavily, and you could say the same thing about DeRupo, who prevents DeFondi from cashing in, and then some activity right at midfield is going to give Seaford another opportunity. Can DeFondi get a redo? He's battling with Miller, and Miller is going to win.
All important ground ball battles. Everyone from here on is consequential. Kofod always seems to be open. Whenever the team needs him, he's always the guy to kind of pick up a ground ball or lead it clear.
As Jonathan Hayes took a ride, Seaford with another takeaway, and a pass in the slot bounces through from Jimmy Herson. His first of the day, 12th of the season, and Seaford is within a goal.
So right before what we're seeing here, Falk was a good football player in that play when he was able to knock Kofod off the ball and create the opportunity in the fast break for Seaford.
Jack Rosen with the feed here, number 28. Off the run, Herson was gliding right towards the net.
But Falk created that by causing a turnover at midfield. And again, I hate to sound like a broken record, but Seaford needs to play that way to be level with Long Beach.
Well, now you know why he's going to Villanova to play football.
He bodied him pretty good. He looks exactly like a football player.
I'm sure the Wildcats program excited to get him on campus sooner rather than later. Parker with a nifty scoop, but puts a little bit too much mustard on that pass for Brown.
I think in that situation, there's no need to rush panic, right? So, he's a face-off guy. Pull the ball out, settle it down. They've had success 6-on-6, Long Beach. So rather than getting into a Seaford type of game, up and down, Long Beach needs to settle, play 6-on-6, and run their offense with all their weapons.
The Vikings were down by 3 goals to start this game. They came back. They trailed by 4 here in the third. And they are now a goal away from pulling back into a knot. Matt Allen, the junior attacker.
Seaford not able to get their offense 6-on-6 settled. Here they go. They have a numbers opportunity here. They have an extra guy in place, but they pull it out.
Herson just scored the last goal, leaves it for Foglia. Barone heading to Western Connecticut, senior captain. Is everybody getting involved here on this possession with 30 on the shot clock?
Allen will invert here and try to take advantage of the matchup.
Getting bodied. Foglia giving it up to Barone. Barone off the dodge. Plays a game of catch with Foglia. Herson to Barone, fires, and DeRupo sacrificing his body for the stop.
Not a tremendous shot selection by Mr. Barone. I'm sure he wished he'd had that back. But at least they generated. They're having a hard time generating offense in settle situations 6-on-6.
Defandi, a great pass to Barone, and DeRupo works his magic yet again to keep it a one-goal game.
A fake high, shoot high. Got to change levels a little bit against a goalie like DeRupo.
Hayden DeRupo on senior day has been doing it nonstop, getting in the grill of Seaford attackers and making them work for these goals.
There you see Coach Pearl imploring his defense, his offense rather, to settle. He wants to see them back at a settled in a structured offense, take advantage of matchups and move away from the ball. And that's what they're going to do. They'll look to get Donahue and Brown involved and those guys again.
They can't hold for the final shot of the quarter, as there's 40 seconds on the shot clock.
They're going to elect to go with Kofod here.
$20 on the shot clock for Brown. Here's Donahue off the spin. 10 seconds to work with. Donahue flips it towards the net and through. His second goal, 21 on the season. Donahue can do it all, and it's back to a 2-goal cushion.
Keane gets the ball here, tries to pick off his guy, but he settles with a nice rocker step to put the defender back on his heels, and he gets a step on him right down the middle.
And that was right as the shot clock was expiring.
Yeah. That's a tough shot for Schweitzer to stop. That's a really good placement by Donahue.
Some additional breathing room for the Marines. And Parker wins initially. And the ball is knocked loose. And Timothy Miller in the right place at the right time.
Getting floppy again a little bit. And toward the end of a quarter, that's not what you want. Those are momentum goals here, And
Seaford now has a chance. Bremen, the extra pass. And once again, DeRupo on an island says it's not happening on my watch. Michael Kalvaka straight away had no chance on that one.
9.3 seconds. Oh, no, I thought the ball was going to go to Long Beach, but it'll go back to Seaford. And they'll launch it again.
So they're going to go for the home run here with James Branch sending it out of play. With 0.2 seconds to go, and that is going to do it for the quarter. As Long Beach has a 2-goal lead over Seaford, 8-6. They led by as many as 4 goals. The Vikings pulled within 1, and they are not taking their foot off the pedal. But this man is keeping Long Beach in front. Aiden DeRupo, senior day, on full display, and a 2-goal game on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Quite the scene here in Long Beach, New York. Roy G. Biv would be proud. There's a rainbow showing right above Alumni Field on Senior Day, with Long Beach taking a 2-goal lead into the fourth quarter over Seaford, 8-6. This game has had it all, with Mother Nature included.
Yep, that's a nice touch on Senior Day, absolutely. So we're trying to figure out which kind of game this is going to be. It's going to be a transition up and down game, which favors Seaford, or a more settled, more structured type of game, which favors Long Beach. Going to be exciting fourth quarter.
And a huge opening face-off to the fourth between Parker and Foglia. Parker has gotten the better of Foglia for the majority of this game.
Parker's done a really good job. Once he wins the ball, that's where the adventure begins, because they've had a hard time moving the ball after he's won it.
Foglia, though, scraps things together, as the Vikings will have their first shot here in the final quarter of regulation. Foglia, at least one goal in 5 of the last 6 games, as he scored earlier.
They're taking Foglia off just to exchange his face-off stick to his offense. It's good to see them leaving him on.
Here's Falk with 30 seconds, goes high. DeRupo not fooled off the rebound, though. Seaford puts it through and makes it an 8-7 game. Logan DeFondi with his second of the day and his 20th of the year.
Nice off the ground ball, right? DeFondi picked the ball up and makes things happen, and that's what Seaford needs to capitalize is situations like that.
He put it right around DeRupo, who had his stick high, so he went towards the side.
He got DeRupo to bite up and faked high and went low. Different face-off guy for Long Beach here.
Yeah, this is Anthony Mara. He's also been utilized this season, the sophomore. And it is going to be Long Beach that comes through with Bodie Wardana, senior defender who wants to be an architect and start his own firm. So he's got very clear plans moving forward. So does Rosen, but DeRupo interrupts that party. But Seaford is in possession as Falk is thinking about it, and that feed towards the slot goes wide. Jimmy Herson was in perfect position.
It was a nice idea by Falk. The pass kind of sailed away on him. I think Falk's getting the idea that they can't just wait and settle and hope for the chance that they have to make things happen.
10.5 minutes to go, and again the Vikings are within a goal.
They've been finding a way the whole year to kind of stay in tight ball games, and a couple of losses and win one goal games. That's their formula.
They've had 3 games decided by 1 goal. They're 1-2 in those contests.
A sloppy possession by Long Beach. Again, Long Beach wants to settle, right? They want to play 6-on-6, and coaches are jumping up and down here to pull the ball out and get their guys on. But that's what Seaford wants. That they're going to try to force unsettled situations and try to get the ball in the open field.
And look at the job of Brian Falk just weaving in and out of traffic, but his pass is deflected and another ground ball that Long Beach can't control. So Rosen looks to lock and load. He is triple teamed. They are still battling for possession, and Long Beach is going to come through. But a takeaway by Seaford as the long stick of James Branch, who was all conference last season, snags it out of thin air, and then a timeout taken, and all of a sudden the Vikings look like a different team.
They're not going to go away. Fourth quarter has kind of been their wheelhouse all year. They know how they've been in these games before. They're familiar with the situation and the ground balls and make something happen off the ground balls.
Here is their upcoming schedule. 2 straight road games in early May against Wantagh and Cornwall Central, and then Southside and Manhasset at home as we make our way to mid-May.
That's three tough games there for Seaford.
More of a reason why you gotta find a way to win these close affairs. Here is Long Beach's upcoming schedule. They're at Garden City and Cold Spring Harbor. That's no picnic. And then they got Southside here at home. So you looked at what Seaford's got to deal with. Mike, that is some trio of opponents coming up.
Both of these teams are looking at, some rough sledding ahead. But you know what? They're being scrapping, both of these guys, and I'm sure they're not going to give up, and they're going to give it everything they have.
Ryan Horner, the head coach of Seaford, describes his team as gritty. And we're seeing that identity, especially in the second half, as this is now the second time we have seen them pull within a goal. Long Beach has done a nice job responding, but here is going to be a Vikings possession out of the timeout and a chance for them to erase yet another deficit.
So, so they don't take a chance on having Falk shut off. Falk's going to take the ball off the restart here, and let's see if he either dodges or looks to pass. I guess that's his favorite side on the wing. So wing dodge. They'll send number 2 out to set a pick and try to come over the top.
As that was Foglia on the screen. And look at the attention that Brian Falk is getting. Barone off the curl, off the dodge. Tries for the cross-field pass intended for Herson. And that is going to be a turnover for Seaford.
That's some hustle by Mr. Miller there to win that shot. Great job by Mr. Miller. Good look on the clear.
Some physicality on the far side.
Falk showing those football chops a little bit. He likes to throw his body around, but good. He's got the size for it.
As that was Mendoza that took the hit, and a timeout taken by Long Beach. And we'll step aside. A 1-goal game with Long Beach in front of Seaford on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 75,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Back here in Long Beach, New York, the home team with an 8-7 lead over the visiting Vikings. A critical game down the stretch of the regular season for both of these squads. 8:40 to go. Long Beach, thanks to Timothy Miller getting a takeaway against Seaford, And now the Marines will be in possession here out of this timeout, but scoring has been a little bit more challenging here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, both teams definitely tightened up. Seaford doing a better job against Long Beach defensively, and let's see what they have here. They have Donahue will probably get back involved. We haven't seen him in quite a few minutes get involved, but look for him to be a part of this.
Conway drawing the double.
So Seaford back in his zone here. So what Long Beach is doing is trying to flood one side to the other. And a cut from the backside to look for a backside pass. That's exactly what Donahue was looking for. He was looking for something through the seams on the back pipe.
Conway, as they twirl it around with Hayes and Brown. 15 on the shot clock for Long Beach. Donahue from the top, off the dodge. Here's the jump shot, and that goes wide from Conway. 7 seconds on the shot clock for Long Beach.
The Seaford zone is definitely solidified in the second half. Long Beach having a little bit of a hard time finding seams against the zone. They're not pressuring behind. They're letting Brown sit behind, and they'll waste the ball in the corner.
Yeah, Brown is just going to dump it. So Seaford survives the turnover.
That was a big defensive stance there for Seaford. Very big.
Yeah, they made Long Beach milk that entire shot clock and not get the cleanest look that they had wanted. As Falk will slow things down with us approaching the 7-minute mark. As Hudson Brenke with Falk on that left wing. Now he cuts in. As DeFondi will look to reset here. 28 on the shot clock for the Vikings. Foglia off the dodge. "15 seconds for the Vikings on the shot clock. Foglia with the bouncer. And DeRupo with his body and his stick to interrupt it. But Falk is back in business. He loses the ground ball. It's picked up by Foglia, and that is deflected wide.
Brenke's been like the kid in Hoosier with Gene Hackman tells him, I want to know what kind of chewing gum he has, what flavor chewing gum. Brenke's been right in Falk's pocket the whole time.
He knows his likes, his dislikes, and everything in between.
Absolutely.
Fresh shot clock, and that is going to be short-lived. How many times have we seen Seaford in position, and then they cough it up?
Yep. They're still struggling 6-on-6, even strength. They have to find a way to try to disrupt the game and get the ball in unsettled situations.
A transition opportunity for Hayes. Hayes from the right wing. And Schweizer continues to match wits with DeRupo here in the fourth.
That was a big stop for Schweizer.
So back and forth we go, and yet another chance for the Vikings to tie this game.
You can see Seaford every time they get the ball. They're trying to push it. They're trying to create opportunities. They're trying to get into space. This is not something that they prefer to do, play 6-on-6. But if they have to, they will. Ward call against number 1, against Barone by Mr. Wallace.
And that continues the theme. The last few possessions have all resulted in turnovers for Seaford. And speaking of that, a near one for Long Beach, and actually it is going to turn in to a takeaway for Seaford. So they get it back with Kofod. And Herson and Bremen will lead it towards the opposite way. Is Defandi chasing it down with Miller, and it is going to go back to Long Beach.
Not an ideal time for that turnover. They did have some opportunities, but what they have to do here, they have to ride and turn Long Beach back.
Seaford's going to watch this film, and they're going to play the coulda, woulda, shoulda game. Yet another opportunity here off an ill-advised pass, and Seaford with Falk leading the charge. Some feed down low, and they have turned this game into an 8-all tie with Herson doubling up for his second goal and 12th of the season. Brian Falk on the money with a precision pass in the slot.
That's what they're looking for. Seaford off the turnover, right? Falk comes up with the ball. They have guys in space. They have guys in openings. Wide open in front of the net. Great shot. That's the only way Seaford's going to survive this game, is they continue to cause turnovers and create unsettled situations.
So many opportunities, Mike. So many chances. Well, I guess the 5th or the 6th time was a charm.
Yeah, absolutely. But, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep trying.
And Foglia wins the foot race with Parker. So Seaford on the attack yet again.
Coach Horter mentioned that, his team was gritty, and that's exactly what they're showing here. And they have another yet unsettled situation.
But a whistle before Calvaca threw that towards the net. And it looks like a timeout was taken.
So timing on timeouts is can be a little funny, right? So they have a fast break situation. The coach called timeout a couple seconds earlier before that developed. Everybody says, "Oh, what'd you call timeout for?" But at the second that he called it, that was a very good timeout call. These two officials, these are the two guys that you want on this type of game. Scrappy, up and down, tight game. These two veteran guys, these are the guys that'll take control of the game.
Michael Calvaca turned around and said, "Coach, why'd you do that to me?" Upcoming Sportscast this Saturday, the Woodstick Classic, as Manhasset and Garden City collide at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can stay locked right here to youtube.com/varsity media for that broadcast. We have a fantastic finish ahead here in Long Beach, New York. 8-all tie with 3:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Seaford trailed by as many as 4 goals in this game and has stormed back, and they're going to have possession here out of this timeout. And really the storyline, Mike, I would say for both teams in the fourth quarter has been the sloppiness, the takeaways, and that has triggered some transition opportunities on both sides.
That had, I think, more benefited Seaford. That's the type of game that they're used to. That's what they want to play. They want to force the ball on the ground and take advantage of the opportunities. Long Beach has kind of gotten away from what they do offensively. I think Seaford's defense, their zone has been, a little frustrating. So Long Beach needs to get possession, needs to settle down, needs to figure out the zone.
Seaford has yet to move in front in this game. Yet here we are down the stretch of the fourth quarter, and they are looking for that 9th goal. They average just over 9 per game. Long Beach giving up 10 per contest.
Falk goes to his familiar wing. He's going to try to dodge from that back corner, initiate from there. See if they try to get some guys open or if he's just going to take it himself.
And Falk lost the ball as he was trying to find the cutter.
Seaford needs to cause a turnover here if they want a chance.
That was Bodie Wardana with the stop, who they call Scataboo after Giants running back Cam Scataboo because he loves contact. Well, he didn't shy away from that with Falk.
No. That's a great nickname.
A lot of jerseys being sold with Scataboo on the back with his arrival in Giants land, and that is a compliment if you have that name synonymous with your play. So Seaford off another turnover.
Nice look over on the clear by Falk.
Here's Barone.
And Mr. Branke comes all the way across the field to cover Falk. And he double teamed. Now Seaford has to move the ball here. They got Long Beach spinning a little bit.
As that shot deflected out. And Long Beach had it, but Seaford retakes possession. That was Dominic Mendoza who initially jumped up to get it. Off the dodge, Falk off the spin, and capitalizes with a tremendous clutch goal to put Seaford in front for the first time today.
Big players make big plays. Seaford really been needing, Falk to kind of take this game over. He dodges, he beats the double, he beats the third slide, and puts it over left shoulder of DeRupo.
29 goals and counting on the season, and Brian Falk has now assisted on the game-tying goal, Mike, and scores the go-ahead goal.
He's kind of willed that play to happen. He's been willing, and you can look at him now. He looks real tired. He looks kind of beat, but he's willing himself through this game. He's not going to take himself off the game now, not with a couple minutes left.
And now the pressure goes back to Long Beach. They win the face-off. Can their offense show signs of life? It has been relatively quiet for them here in the fourth quarter.
So Seaford's looks like they're playing a little bit of a man-to-man. You're throwing a change-up, or they're going back into their zone now, or kind of a hybrid.
.35 seconds on the shot clock for Donaghy. Brown giving it up to Hayes.
Seaford wants anything that Long Beach throws to be from outside.
Donaghy thinking about the shot with 23 on the clock, and Long Beach storming back with a beautiful feed down low that sets up Farrell, as you're going to see the replay here. And again, it's Donaghy orchestrating things, Mike.
Yeah, so you watch, all attention was on Donaghy, and Farrell was able to kind of slide behind the crease defender and find himself an opening. Donaghy with his head up, even though he's dodging left and right and going back and forth, he kept his head up and found Farrell right in front of the cage.
Farrell with a hat trick, 16 goals on the season. And a timeout taken here.
Great timeout call by Coach Pearl. Very good.
Off the face-off, Long Beach now will discuss their strategy with 1:30 to go in the fourth, and we'll step aside. It is 9-all between Long Beach and Seaford in some affair here in Nassau County on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
9-9 game with 1.5 to go in the fourth quarter between Long Beach and Seaford. It is senior day here in Long Beach, New York, and plenty of the seniors have made quite the names for themselves, including Charlie Conway. But, Mike, there's going to be a possession for the Marines. If you're Jason Pearl, what are you looking to do here out of the timeout?
That's why he called the timeout, because he wanted to situate his offense. Seaford's been very good lately in the second half of the game with their zone. I'm sure Coach Pearl discussed, how they're going to attack the zone. If you're Seaford, do you come out in the zone again? Do you try to throw a different look at him to try to confuse, the Long Beach offense? The chess game here is going to be interesting to watch. Looks like they're starting in the zone. Let's see what happens. Long Beach has their two good cutters inside right now, Farrell and Kofod. Those guys know how to work and move without the ball. They have Brown and Donahue setting the tone on the outside.
There's Donahue again, leaving it for Conway. As the junior and the senior go back and forth with 40 on the shot clock.
Donahue looking to feed. Same situation that happened before. They found the same seam. Kofod just pulled it away because he didn't quite have a shot, and he retained their possession.
As Hayes was the one right on the right side. 19 on the shot clock. Donahue doubled. In the X position is Brown. With 30 seconds to go here in the fourth. 6 seconds on the clock. Brown, the pass in the slot, bounces all the way down the field, and Seaford still fighting for it and will end up in possession with 15 seconds to go in regulation, and that goes wide.
Seaford almost.
And it is going to stay with Seaford. At least one of the officials is pointing in the direction of the Vikings here.
So Falk, battling for the ball on the sideline, was able to bounce it off Miller's leg, and Falk gets the ball back for Seaford with 6 seconds left.
They had the numbers in transition prior to that wide pass. Brian Falk has assisted or scored on the last 2 goals. Can he be the hero? 4 seconds to go, shoots towards the net, and it's slightly behind and off of DeRupo, and that is the end of regulation. A 9-9 game as we go to an extra session. What a fourth quarter comeback for Seaford. Long Beach trailing for the first time in this game, and Donahue sets up Ryan Farrell to give him a hat trick and put more time on the clock on Senior Day on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
You've seen the dedication, the long hours, the early mornings, the sacrifice. You know your athlete has what it takes, but how do you make sure the right people see it? The recruiting process isn't easy. Coaches are flooded with highlights, but how do you stand out in the crowd? At Varsity Media, we specialize in creating game-changing ISO videos, high-definition, athlete-focused footage that highlights exactly what college recruiters want to see. With our up-close ISO video, we capture your athlete's key moments. No more wide angles showing other players. This is just your athlete's pure, raw talent. This is more than a video. This is the opportunity your athlete deserves. Give your athlete the edge they need. Make the right impression with Varsity Media's ISO video service. The future starts now.
Overtime getting underway here in Long Beach, New York. A memorable Senior Day for the Marines. They'll put 4 minutes on the clock. The next goal wins. Parker and Foglia have had a battle royale all afternoon, all evening, so it's only appropriate that they decide who is going to get the first possession here in the extra session.
Look for an early timeout here based on who gets the possession.
And Parker trying to scoop it up.
Coach Pearl trying to call timeout.
And that's exactly what happens with Donahue coming off the wing to back up Parker to secure the possession. And now Pearl will discuss the game plan with his team. A reminder, 3 games decided by 1 goal this season for Seaford. So this is going to be the 4th. They're 1-2 in those contests. They beat North Shore. They lost to MacArthur and Oceanside. Now, on Long Beach's side, they have had a number of close games, including 2 games ago On the road at Bethpage, they lost 8-7. That was their second one-goal loss this season. So, Mike, both of these teams, this is not uncharted territory for them.
No, you know what? And this is what they play for. This is exactly, how both teams are built. Both are scrappy. Both teams are fighters. Imagine what their record could be, by just a bounce here and there, right? I'm just curious who's gonna be the hero here. Is it going to be a senior? Is it going to be an underclassman? Let's see what happens.
Well, there's a mix of just about everything on this roster. Charlie Conway, certainly one of their most notable seniors. Donahue is a junior. We have also seen Hayes involved. He's a sophomore. Dylan Brown is a sophomore as well. So everybody across the classes shipping in today. And the Marines with the first possession here in overtime out of the timeout.
It's a big clear here.
And Farrell gets it across midfield.
Seaford sets up in their zone again.
They get it to Donahue out of the X position. 50 seconds on the shot clock.
Seaford pressing out a little bit more, so it's a little bit more of a hybrid look, just so Long Beach doesn't get comfortable.
And Conway, the hero, with a walk-off victory for the Marines. It is indeed a senior on senior day that works his magic and dials it up off the bounce to give them a 10-9 victory in style.
We had everything today. We had a senior day. We had rainbows. We had overtime victories. And the home team goes home a winner.
His 32nd goal of the season. You could have not scripted this, Mike, any better with it going to overtime and them setting up the starting quarterback of the football team who ignites a lot of offense here on the lacrosse field. And Long Beach snapping a 2-game skid on senior day and putting a halt to back-to-back wins for Seaford. But Long Beach now goes to 6-7 and knocking on the door of 500.
Right, it was a big day for both teams. Long Beach had a really impressive win today, but you can't take anything away from Seaford. I thought they scrapped the entire time. Mr. Schweitzer had a very good game. Seaford, they're undermanned, they're undersized, but they hung in there.
A heck of a performance for both of these teams who left it all on the field and did not disappoint. And another heartbreaking 1-goal loss for the Vikings, who fall to 1-3 in that category. But it started off with an emotional day for the Marines on senior day, and DeRupo doing everything he could to stop shots. Charlie Conway started the party. Well, he also finished it. And we saw Brian Falk get involved with some comeback for the Vikings, overcoming a 4-goal deficit before Ryan Farrell tied it up, and we went to overtime where Charlie Conway bounced it off the perfect angle to lift the Marines over the Vikings 10-9. Our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director, Chris Sweeney, camera operators, Peyton Brophy and Mike Verdi. For Mike Nelson, I'm Lance Meadows saying so long from Long Beach, New York. The final score once again, 10-9 in favor of Long Beach.